What was the Rebellion of the Three Guards? The Rebellion of the Three Guards, also known less commonly as the Wu Geng Rebellion, was a period of civil war instigated by an alliance of discontented Zhou princes, Shang loyalists, vassal states and other non-Zhou peoples against the Western Zhou government under the Duke of Zhou's regency in the late 11th century BC. After the fall of the Shang dynasty, King Wu of Zhou appointed his younger brothers Guanshu, Caishu and Huoshu as the three guards of the east to secure the newly conquered Shang territories. After the death of King Wu and his young son became King Cheng, Wu's brother Dan, the Duke of Zhou, declared himself regent and took over the royal court. This angered the three guards, who suspected Dan of usurpation and believed they together should have served as regents. The three guards allied with several separatist eastern nobles, including Shang loyalists such as Prince Wu Geng and the states of Dongyi and Huayi. The Duke of Zhou put down the rebellion before launching an eastern campaign and defeating the rebels over the following 3 years. In doing so, he expanded the Zhou territory in what is today eastern China, transforming his kingdom into an empire. Historians believe the rebellion to have been a defining moment for the Zhou dynasty, born of a succession crisis that transformed the entire history of Chinese statecraft. Prelude. In the year 1059 BC, an extremely rare planetary conjunction occurred as the planets Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn were visible in the northwestern sky over northern China, all grouped closely together. This was taken by the Zhou people as a sign of great importance, showcasing that their ruler had been granted the mandate of heaven. Declaring himself king, Wen of Zhou broke away from his previous warlords, the Shang dynasty, and launched a war for independence away from that of China. The Zhou consolidated the territories that surrounded their homeland in the Wei River Valley under King Wen. Following his death, his son, King Wu of Zhou, defeated the Shang dynasty and conquered their capital city of Yin in 1046 BC. The Zhou dynasty continued with the old Shang style, although uncertainty and unrest often bubbled just below the surface. Most of the eastern vassal states remained loyal to the fallen Shang dynasty and resented their new barbarian rulers. King Wu recognized this and appointed the son of the last Shang king as the deputy ruler of the east. By doing this, King Wu hoped the Zhou could rule the eastern lands through a proxy Shang prince. Still wary of possible revolts against his rule, King Wu left his three brothers, Guanshu Xian, Caishu and Huoshu as the three overseers of the newly conquered lands, ordering them to watch over Wu Geng and the other eastern nobles. However, it was not only the states of the Central Plain that wanted to restore the Shang dynasty. Several Dongyi tribes and states of what is today Shandong province were Shang strongholds, with strong cultural and political ties to the fallen regime. A regime they had served loyally as allies and vassals for over 2 centuries. Among them, only the state of Shu in today's southern Shandong welcomed the arrival of the Zhou, as they had long fought with the Shang for their own independence. After bringing relative order to his eastern lands, King Wu returned to his capital of Fanghao and appointed 2 more of his brothers as key figures within the royal court. His brother Dan, the Duke of Zhou, was appointed as the royal chancellor, and Shi, the Duke of Shang, became the Grand Protector. When King Wu died around 1043 BC, his young son Song became King Cheng of Zhou. Dan, the Duke of Zhou, claimed the boy too young to rule and declared himself regent for the boy king and took over ruling the royal court. Over time, Dan managed to win over the support of most of the members of that court and established his position as the capital. Together with his half-brother, the Duke of Zhou, and King Cheng, they formed a ruling triumvirate with himself as a ruling leader. However, in the east, the takeover caused considerable resentment among the three guards, with Guanshu and Caishu in particular suspecting their brother of usurpation. Furthermore, to that resentment, Guanshu was older than Dan, and by right he should have been appointed regent by the tradition of seniority. Communication in the Western Zhou period was poor at best, with messages taking between 40 and 60 days to traverse the mountainous terrain. Problems of communication led to situations of mistrust between commanders on the eastern plain and the leadership in the capital. In the year 1042 BC, the second year of the Duke of Zhou's regency, Guanshu and Caishu finally instigated Wu Geng and his followers to rise up in rebellion. War. Huoshu was quickly convinced by the two rebellious brothers of their cause being rightful and thus uniting the three guards against the Duke of Zhou. Together with the Shang loyalists and numerous independence-minded nobles, large swathes of the Zhou's eastern realm rose up against the official government. Included in those that rebelled were states that controlled crucial passes and trade routes. The Ying, for example, was located close to the exit of the Ying River Valley, which connected the Luoyang Plain with the entrance to the Nanyang Basin. This was the route that controlled the road to the central region of the Yangtze. The rebels were also able to gain the support of several external allies, including the states of Pugu and Yan, both powerful Shang sympathizers, while the Dongri and Huayi tribes, the latter controlling the Huayi River region and had little connection to either the Zhou or Shang, but joined the cause of the rebels. Another state that opposed the Zhou was that of Shu. This state would grow into one of the Zhou dynasty's greatest enemies. However, there were some vassal states that remained loyal, including the Song and northern Yan, under Marquis Ke, the son of the Duke of Zhou. After being informed of the revolt, King Cheng at first had to rely on the remaining loyalists in the east to do the bulk of the fighting, as the government needed time to mobilize its forces. They then needed an additional 2 months to move them and sufficient supplies to the eastern plain. A result of this meant the rebels remained largely unchallenged for almost a year. Once the period of preparation had been completed and armies assembled, the Dukes of Zhou and Shao launched the second eastern campaign in an attempt to put down the rebellion. Inscriptions written in bronze at that time indicate that King Cheng himself took part in the campaign as a commander, disproving the claim that he was a child at that time. During the second year of the rebellion, the Shang loyalists were largely exterminated after hard fighting that saw the complete destruction of the state of Yin and the death of Prince Wu Geng. The main force of the three guards was defeated, with Guanshu Xian and Hongshu Chu being captured, while Caishu Du fled into exile or was banished. For his part in the rebellion, Guanshu was executed, while Huoshu was stripped of his titles and demoted to the rank of a commoner. Despite the victory, the Duke of Zhou continued on and further campaigned against the eastern rebel allies that were located beyond the eastern borders of the Zhou kingdom. Shortly after the defeat of the three guards, they advanced in the Shandong and attacked the Feng and Pugu. They also attacked the Yan, but they were able to withstand the attack. In the third year of the war, the Zhou army, led by its king and the Duke of Zhou, conducted an expedition against the Huayi people and attacked the Yan once again. This time, the Yan were defeated. The result of the war brought several tribes of the eastern seaboard together under Zhou rule and greatly expanded the Zhou kingdom. Aftermath. Reformation of the Zhou Kingdom. Following the rebellion, the Duke of Zhou established a new system known as Fengtian in order to consolidate the Zhou rule and help stabilize the region. The vassal states were reorganized, with 2/3 of them bestowed to members of the royal family and other key families loyal to the Zhou. Members of the House of Shang were transferred to distant lands where they posed no threat to the central kingdom. Those loyal to the royal family were placed at strategic points along the main geographic axis of northern China, the Yellow River and the Taihang Mountains. The Fengtian system would become the foundation of Zhou rule as well as the dynasty's crowning achievement. The rebel states of Guan, Yan, Pugu and Sai were each dissolved, although the latter was later revived. Yan and Pugu were annexed into the newly founded states of Lu and Qi. The Shang royal domain at Yin was dismantled and integrated into Wei. Control of this was given to Caishu, a loyalist uncle of King Cheng. Another loyalist, Wei Ziqi, actually the defeated Wu Geng's uncle, was given control of the state of Song, an ancient cultural center of the Shang people. In line with the creation of several new states, there was a program of rapid colonization and settling of Zhou people through the building of new cities in the east to quell the threat from the hostile Dongyi and Huai tribes. One result of the rebellion of the Three Guards was the onset of a military conflict between the Zhou dynasty and the independent tribes and states of the east. This state of conflict would continue until the fall of the Western Zhou in the year 771 BC. It was also recognized by the Duke of Zhou that the kingdom was too large to be adequately ruled from the western city of Fenghao, so an eastern administrative center was constructed with a second capital at Chengzhou or Wangcheng, close to the present-day city of Luoyang. It remains unclear if one city or two were built for this purpose. Political impact. The redistribution of land, government reforms and colonization programs strengthened and stabilized the Zhou government, while the Duke of Zhou expounded the mandate of heaven in response to the rebellion. The mandate was used as a propaganda tool to legitimize the Zhou morally and spiritually. Empowered by this, the Zhou dynasty entered into an era of prosperity and expansion that lasted until 961 to 957 BC and the war with Chu. The triumvirate mentioned earlier in the video of Duke Dan of Zhou, King Cheng and Duke Shi of Shao continued to rule the kingdom until 3 years after that conflict. However, eventually the two dukes fell out over what they perceived as the correct form of government. Duke Dan opted for a meritocracy, while Shi believed the power should remain with the royal family, thus preventing usurpation. One result of this disagreement led to the Duke of Zhou retiring from court politics in 1036 BC. This returned the position of power back to King Cheng, while ultimately the Duke of Shao became one of the most powerful men in the kingdom. The failure of the rebellion and the following dismantling of the Shang state effectively ended any realistic chances for the Shang dynasty to be restored. Despite this, followed by the proclamation of the mandate of heaven, delegitimizing Shang rule, militant Shang loyalism and resistance to the Zhou remained. In 979 BC, around 60 years after the rebellion had ended, a war broke out between the Zhou kingdom under King Cheng's successor King Cheng and the Guifeng of Shanxi and northern Shanxi. The Guifeng were reportedly supported by Shang diehards led by the Earl of Ge, who fought for the restoration of the Shang dynasty. However, such uprisings remained weak and generally on a local level, so that Shang loyalism, while there, never posed a real threat to the Zhou dynasty. That brings us to the end of this video, highlighting an era of Chinese history that is not widely known in Western countries. If you've enjoyed watching and it's shown you a little detail of life and events here in China, then your subscribing to my channel would mean a lot to me. Thank you for watching. Make sure you click on the link to the next video, and until the next time, goodbye for now.